So we're attacking from the far side. Let's break this field down into first left lane, right lane, and center lane. Center lane is not really that important, but it's important to organize the field, at least in terms of left and right. Most players are doing this already, so let's just keep going. Here's the basic perimeter setup that you need. Now let's caveat it with this. See that red line I have with a black border? If any player is in any of those buildings or behind any of those buildings, they are failing you as a teammate. They're not doing it. What are they doing? What are you doing? Look at where those buildings are. Look at them. Look at them. Look at them. What advantageous angle do you have from way in the back of the field? None. You're not doing anything. You're just running around and doing, if you don't want to play on the team or you want to do your own thing, cool. If you want to optimize player shooting face capabilities, it behooves you to go forward of this red line. Now, what you're looking at from the top down, so these red dots denote the players and the yellow lines denote kind of what they should be focusing on. Let's also add this piece. You should never be doing someone else's job, and no one should ever be doing your job. If your job is to cover one window, that's all you do. You don't worry about anything else, and no one else should be worrying about your window. Because if everyone does their job, this should work. But what's going to happen? You're going to get bored. You're not going to want to cover that window or that doorway. So you're going to want to do your own thing. You're going to get shot by 4 different players, and then you're going to let those 4 players take over that position and start taking out the rest of your team from behind because you failed as a team. Good job, kids. If we're looking at the back, at the red players, all we're really doing is setting security. That's it. You're setting security. You're making sure that no one from the near side team is going to be able to flank you from the left or from the right. You can do this with, if you want, you could have those red dots be 2 players or 3 players, depending on how many people are on the field. Look, it is probably reasonable to say this far side team will have 20 to 40 players on them. I don't have 20 to 40 red dots. So if you want, you could double up or triple up. But you have to understand it to a point. 5 players on one window is just me. It's what are you doing? Go over there. Go over there. Go over there. Go over there. Go somewhere else and find a better place to be instead of just waiting for this other guy to get shot so you could step in and then get shot and the next person will get stepped in and then they get shot. And it's just madness. Moving on. The orange players can be either part of the assault team into the castle, or they can also do double duties as defenders. You don't really need to go too much farther forward in those buildings for a good defensive line. The green dot is going to be where you stage your assault team to go into the castle. You can try and go from the side doors. Here's the problem. Is look at how much open, unprotected space there are on those side doors. Or as we see them, they would be on the top and bottom. But if we're on the field, they're the left side door and the right side door. You don't want to do that. You're just going to get shot from all, look at those. Look at all these buildings. Look at all these windows and doorways and angles that you can be shot from being on the, trying to go from that side door. Don't do it. Go from the door where that big green dot is. When you go through there, you need like 10 dudes going through. And they all need to be spread out. Don't go in a single line. Don't go in cute little stacks like you see on TV because you're just going to get picked off one at a time. Going through that door should be at least 2 to 3 dudes depending on, how skinny you are. You should have at least 2 or 3 guys going through that doorway at once. The right player should be looking at what's on the right. The middle player looks in the middle. Left player looks at the left. But if 3 dudes going through the door looking at the same one player, his 7 buddies are going to start shooting all 3 of you. Does that make sense? That should make sense. That's how that works. Once you get in the castle, everyone needs to be in the corners. There should be no one really in the middle, depending on how many people you have in that castle. Everyone should be in a corner. You can get away with 2 people per corner. You can get away with that. But like, let's say you're in corner 2. Well, you don't really need to worry about a whole lot because your own team is behind you. Same thing with corner 1. If you look in that far side window, or the window that corner 1 has, it looks into your team. You don't need that. So you really only need 2 people in corner 1. You can get away with 2 in corner 2. You could do 3 in corner 2 if you want. Same thing with corner 3 and corner 4. You can have 3 players, and then that's fine. There's going to be a bunch of people going in there at some point. You can have 3 people in each corner. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's going to depend on how many people are inside the castle to begin with. If you've got 3 people in there, it's going to be tough. If you're the far side, notice I have the doors numbered door 1, 2, 3, and 4. In my opinion, as someone that reps the field, as someone that's field staff, as someone that plays the field, as someone that really knows that map very well, door 1 is the most important door if you're on the far side and you want to defend it from the near side. Because how many kids are going through that door? Almost all of them, because it's going to be way harder to get through door 2 or door 3 because you have to go through so much open space. It's really hard to get through those side doors. If you're on the far side and you're going in the castle from door number 4, which is most likely the door you're going to be using, it's really important that you get players in corner 1 and corner 2 and start putting guns on those doorways. You don't really need to look out the windows. You just need to keep players from going through the doorway. You can't climb over windows. It's against the rules. No one is allowed to climb over a window. So all you have to do is worry about players coming through the doorway. If you look at the little picture I have, there's 2 guns on each doorway. Good luck near side. Good luck getting through that. But it requires people to understand what their job is and to keep doing their job, even if it's boring. Cool. If it's boring, that means it's working. Let's look at what these corners are really going to be dealing with. So we'll start with corner 1. If I'm in corner 1, my main objective is to keep players from coming through that main door. That's the door on the right. I'm really not too worried about the door on the left because I'm going to have another corner protecting that. I need to worry about that doorway. If there's only one of me there, if I'm the only person or player there, I can tuck back behind this little piece of coverage right here, and that'll protect me from that window to the right of the door. If you know what you're doing, you should be tucked back into the corner, kneeling, and having the rifle on your left shoulder. Don't stand up. If you're tall and you stand up in one of those corners and you're on the highest part you can get, you're going to get shot in the head by someone far away. That's just, players have already had that happen. Be in the kneeling position. Think small thoughts. Or get short players in there. If I'm in corner 2, this is what I'm looking at. I'm really not worried about the door and the window onto the left because that's the door that my team's coming through. So I really don't have to worry about that unless my team gets flanked. If I get flanked, then I'm probably going to get shot through that window sometime soon. What you really want to worry about is this door right here. This door and this window. That's what you really want to concern yourself with because a lot of players are going to pass through that window trying to get to the door. So you're just shooting them before they even get to the doorway. Here's corner 3. You're looking at the main door is in front of you, but because of the angle, the corner 1 player is the one who's really concerned about that. You are keeping players from the door in front of you, which is the church side of the field, as well as that window. And remember, if you're standing up, you can get shot in the face from those far side players. Or you'll get shot by your own team. Here's corner 4. I'm not going to say it's the least important, but you really don't necessarily have to worry about this as long as your team doesn't get flanked. Because what we're looking at straight ahead is the doorway that our team's going to be coming through. And as long as you don't get shot by your own teammates, which it's probably going to happen. As long as you don't get shot by your own teammates, you should be fine here.